Hey, Ace. Okay, here we're going to cut a king salmon into fish strips. And got a fillet that's been all prepared down on the beach. And we're going to rib it now and prepare it for cutting into strips. So this ribbing, just so the fish holds together better while we're transporting it up to the table up here for the people to cut. In this case, I'm doing everything here because I'm the only one at camp here, so at the moment. So, we leave the ribs on when we cut them down on the beach. And I'm already kind of making a little bit of a mess of this one a little bit. Trying to film at the same time I'm doing everything. So, so this part, these ribs here that I'm taking off, you want to leave as much of the flesh on the fillet as you can. That's the whole idea here. And go around the fin there, and then just leave everything else on it. And those will go up on a rack right behind me, and they'll get dried for the dogs. Yeah. So now we've got the fillet all prepared to cut into strips, and the knife is sharp. Hopefully, got to be pretty sharp for this. So this first cut, I want to leave lots of make it really wide up at the top there, so where the strips go over the pole, they don't break and fall on the ground. So you make sure you leave lots up at the tail there, and then just cut your first strip. And don't worry about how they look, because after a couple of days drying, they all look good. And the idea is, especially in weather like this, is not to cut them too thick, because you want them to dry. Now, if it was a nice sunny day and not raining like today, you could cut them a little thicker and get away with it. But you got to always keep in mind the weather that you got at the moment and the type of weather you're going to have for the near future. So I'm cutting these a little bit thinner than I'd maybe cut them if it was sunny out and going to be sunny for a bunch of days. So, cut right down. Okay. And we got a bone line in here. And some people cut the bone line out entirely. I usually leave in some of the bones, like I've already cut into it a little bit. And then when it gets, so you can cut the bone line off without taking much meat off at all, I'll cut out the remaining bone line. Some people leave all the bones in, and that's fine too, whatever. It's all personal preference. They are pretty sharp. Everybody who's eaten a lot of strips has gotten some, I've gotten some bones jammed in my gums pretty bad before. It's not fun. So then, okay, so then as you're moving down towards the belly here, you start moving your cuts down with it. And the key here is to leave enough meat that, you know, you can have like 2 strips connected, 2 strips connected, 2 strips connected, 2 strips connected. And then as you get down towards the end here, you just keep track of the strips, and so we got 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, because everything's in pairs. And I'm going to cut 2 more small strips here, and then I'm going to take this last part and make like what we call kind of a belly. Now people do the bellies all different. Some people spend actually quite a bit of time on the belly, and they leave these fins connected on there. And I'm not, I just cut my bellies into strips. And all these pieces here, this is what I call lunch. This is every day when I'm cutting all these little pieces you cut off. That's that gets thrown in the frying pan here pretty soon and gonna be lunch. And these things you can dry them just like that, or you can put these little cuts in them. Helps them dry a little faster, and kind of nice when you're eating them. You just pull off a little chunk. So, you know. Yep. So now you cut the strips off in pairs because you want the strip to go over the pole. Now you got to take off a little bit of flesh. If you don't, that meat that goes over the pole will attract flies, and it'll keep the skin from drying, and you'll have more strips dropping. And see, that part that goes over the pole is just going to be skin now. Okay, and that's nice and wide, you know, you don't want anything other than that. And that's a strip. That'll hang over a pole just like that. So I just do that to all these, go through them all. Take off a little bit of meat there, lunch. And yeah, it's a daily thing. Sometimes when the whole camp is cutting, everybody will have a little pile like that. There'll be somebody cutting here, my wife usually, and then one of the kids cutting here, and maybe sister-in-law Faith cutting there, and Joey and Sam cutting over there on that table, or Ariel, or Caitlin. Yep, we'll all be, everybody will come up with a little pile like that and put their piles together, and we'll just cook them in the frying pan at lunchtime or supper. Yeah. So that's how we cut strips for king salmon, and it's all people food. All king salmon is made into people food. The scraps, like I say, those ribs there, those will go to the dogs, and the backbones, I got a couple hanging back here that'll be people food, but so the backbones are kind of half dog food, half people food. It depends on you know, how good a quality they are. And you got to boil those. You don't get much meat off of those things. There's not much left on the backbone after we fillet it. And that's this is the last strip. Good enough. I'm going to take them all, put them in fingers like that, and then I'll right behind me here, I put them on the brine bucket, and I'll just leave those in there. And this is a batch that I just did a little while ago. These have been in the brine for the length of time it took me to do that last fillet, and they're all salted. And I will take them and put them on a pole, and then over in the fish rack there, I'll spread them out about 1.5 inches apart, and just let them dry for about 1 day in the sun. Or on a rainy day like this, hopefully you get a little wind. We do have some breeze here, and so it's not too bad. It's not like those dead calm days. People don't even like to cut on those when the weather's going to be like that. It's definitely a little tricky right now on the weather. So if worse comes to worse, I can put them in the smokehouse and put them right above the smoke stove and kind of force dry them a little, but that's not the preferred way. So I'm going to put these over on the rack. Okay, we're going to go in the smokehouse here. So, yeah, this is everybody's fish. You know, there's Joey's fish up there, Kate and Ariel is there, and Donald's there, and Auntie Faith's there, Kathleen's there. We've run a lot of fish. We're actually in the process of getting all this fish dry and out of the smokehouse. I'm just doing some late king for myself now that everybody's gone. This is actually the first king I've been cutting for the season. I've been camp maintenance man. That's what I am. That's what I call myself all summer. I sharpen knives, I fix things that are broken, I run the wheel, I catch the fish, I head and gut them, bring the fillets up top, and everybody else cuts their fish strips. And I just be camp maintenance man. But I like strips a certain way, and so that's what all these strips are about here. I'm cutting some strips so I have some strips that I can do what I want with for the summer. So I'm going to, yeah, I think that's good enough. A little bit of in-depth here on the cutting of king strips during king season and dog food and all that. I got a video on my YouTube channel that's how to cut dog food, and you can go and see that. That's a whole different process. All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay, now here's some tips. Some learned the hard way, some just things I found out, some people have told me about. Anyway, this one, after you hang your strips, just kind of take a cloth and touch the tops of them. Now, the weather has gotten sunny here, but in damp weather, if you don't get those places where those two strips connect over those poles, if you don't get them dry, they're going to start dropping. It's going to stretch that skin and you're going to start dropping. So you take a cloth and just pat them a little bit dry, and it can make all the difference in the in damp weather. It's just a little tip. That's all that one is. Okay, here's another tip. This is standard practice. Everybody does this. See how these strips are stuck together, kind of? They're wet and, you know, stuff like that. Maybe it's getting a little coat on the outside there, but where they're stuck together, it's all white and wet. All you do, just turn all your strips the next day. You might even have to do this one more time. Turn your strips and it'll sit apart like that, because you don't want that sitting together like that, stuck, because the flies will get in there and it'll sour. And see, now they're hanging just right. All you do is just turn that tail a little bit. Well, tail section there. Yeah, like I say, you may have to do them the next day. These things aren't really drying that good. It's really wet weather here, and may even have to sit out for 2 days here before we get them all done and get a good coat on them to bring them in the smokehouse. So that's okay. And here's another tip. Say you cut one of the strips off at the tail wrong, and you end up with a single strip like this. Well, real simple. Cut out a little piece of thing like that. There you go. You got a strip. Okay, another tip. Say you're cutting the tails, you're being real careful, and then you kind of go too far and you cut it off, or the strip at night breaks at the tail and falls off. Next morning you clean the strip off, put them together like that. And a lot of people have trouble with this. They use heavy rope. You want to use light rope so it'll cut in. Put a double knot, 2 knots, just like you do on a package, a bow on a present or something like that. Put 2 knots, and then one to hold it. Good to go. Strip that'll go over a pole, and it won't slip out. Like I say, if you use big rope, over and over again, I've seen people use bigger twine, and they just keep falling on them. Okay, got a bunch of strips that are going to go in the brine bucket, and this is the brine bucket, and it's got 100% salt solution in it, and I'll soak the strips in there for 2 to 3 minutes, and I like the 100% salt solution because it's real easy. As long as you got salt down the bottom of that bucket, you know that that's a supersaturated solution, 100% salt solution in the brine. And doesn't take a lot of water in there, but I use a screen like this. You know, you get a little bit of fish pieces in there, and every now and then just kind of clean them out. And I'll change my brine every day, but there's no sense, you know, it's not like 100% salt solution is going to go rotten over the course of a day or anything like that. I'll just keep cleaning it out like that, and that's the brine. Okie dokie. And people, you know, do all sorts of things. Some people just, for 20 years, we just dumped the strips in the thing and sorted them out. In the end, this year, I've been using this wire. My wife's been using a little stick, and let them sit in there for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then just lift them out and hang them for a little bit, and they drain. For a lot of years, we used to use this thing here, put it in the bottom of a big 5-gallon bucket here, and you know, just let the strips drain that way, carry the bucket over to the racks and hang them up over there. All sorts of ways to deal with that method there. And lastly, if you're gonna strip for the first time, the best thing to do is start with a little fish. And lately on the Yukon, that's we got lots of little fish. There's actually very few big fish around at all. Haven't seen a fish over 27 pounds all summer long. So, you know, we used to have 50-pounders here, but we've genetically modified the run. So you get a lot of these little fish, and they are the ticket for learning on, because they are fast. Like on these little fish, I don't even worry about the bone line. The bones are so small, and you can whip them out pretty fast. So if you try this, you can probably do this with just about all sorts of fish, I would imagine. And there's all sorts of brines and fancy recipes and stuff that you can use, but if you want, and that's it. So thank you. Good luck.